I got a little emotional after the game. I think conference play is, it's as much about your heart and determination as it is about your skill and your physicality, I think. And, man, it's hard to come out night after night and do that. And these girls have been grinding all preseason long and just with battling injuries and just battling, fear and all of that kind of stuff. To be able to come out and put together a performance like this where, we hit 257 as a squad and we pulled out 15 team blocks. And, Kayla Williams was on a tear tonight. She was really hard to stop, and we were making adjustments, and she just kept on scoring. And I always say good offense will beat good defense on a singular point, but over the course of a match, good defense will end up pulling through and winning. So if you're trying to guard Kobe Bryant or Dirk Nowitzki on a turnaround fadeaway three-pointer, good luck getting a hand in their face. And if they're going to make it, they're going to make it. But over the course of a game, the more that you can stay strong to the scout and do all that stuff, the better the results will be. So, they just have so much joy and love for the game and love for each other and desire to win that it's a really fun group to coach. And even on our bad days, it's still fun. So, that's what I would have to say about this win.
In a game like today where Jacksonville State had that girl that was getting a lot of points, how much did those 15 blocks come into play there?
Oh, big time. I think, kudos to her. And again, that's a tough team. But when you funnel the majority of your offense through one person, it's really tough to end up having other options to go to late in the game. So it ended up being where we could key on her more and more. And then obviously Elizabeth got that huge solo block at the end of the game. And just we didn't look back from there. So, that's what I would say is like the blocking pulled through really, really well.
In a game like this where it's back and forth, how important is it to get that first set?
Really important. I think that's been one of our struggles this year is coming out strong and consistent. And, we still in the first set, we didn't hit as good, and in the second set as well. But I think just taking care of business, doing the things that we needed to do early and often is the name of our game. And I think the more we do that, there really isn't a team that can stop us if we keep playing the way we play. And it's never easy, but it's simple. And I think winning is not simple, or it's not easy, but it is simple. I ruined that. I was like ready for a really good line on that one, but
after that second set, you guys struggled. What adjustments did you make after that set?
Just returned back to the game plan. We simplified the feedback we were giving and tried to speak more into the areas that were a struggle, such as like serving and making sure we were being more consistent with our zones, but not taking away aggression. One of the things we like to do is serve so tough that it makes the other team struggle offensively. And we were able to do that really well in the first and the fourth and the fifth to hold them, their offensive numbers a little lower. But, that's kind of what I focused on. I just chatted with my assistants, Todd and Briley. It was just like, hey, y'all, I think we just give each person one thing to focus on, and we go from there because they got finals coming up. They got, families are in town. There's so much stuff swirling around, and I think sometimes their desire to win is enough to push through. And I think sometimes strategy can get in the way of performance. And, so I think we're going to keep on training hard. We fly to Miami on Monday and go down and take on FIU and followed by Kennesaw State. So I'm really excited to get another chance to perform.
After that crazy back and forth fourth set, what did you say to the girls to get the win there in that fifth set?
When you have a shot to win and you have match point twice, I believe, it can be so demoralizing to pull back in a fifth set. But one thing I just mentioned to them was like, regardless of all the scenarios that are going on around, you're going to hear voices, whether it's from the opponent or from the ref or from the crowd. And those voices really don't have an effect on your heart, and you need to listen to the strong voice. And sometimes the strong voice can be me. Sometimes a strong voice can be a teammate. And sometimes a strong voice can just be your own mentality or something you've heard from in the past. And I encourage them to tune into that strong voice and to let that weak voice just kind of die out, because the weak voice would say, oh, you should have won last game, or, oh, you had set point and you didn't score, so good luck this game. Just listen to the strong voice. I'm a great player. I'm here for a reason. I do it for the Lord, and I do it because I love it. So they were all reminding each other of that all throughout the huddle. I mean, I walk into it and it's like walking into a coach's clinic, the way that they talk to each other sometimes. So, yeah, there wasn't really much more guidance from me that they needed. They just needed to be able to get out there and play.
Heading on the road to Kennesaw State and FIU, like you said, what improvements are you looking for?
I'm looking for, I think we've been able to switch up our rotation that we start in very successfully. So, like, you know, all game long we're starting in rotation 5, and then in the 5th set we switched to rotation 6, which allowed us to get more of our middles involved. We just had a better matchup with the serving wise and everything. So I want to be able to do that a little bit more on the road and to just really pinpoint and find those areas that we can beat the opponent and be really great at exploiting the weaknesses that we see is going to be the name of the game for the offense. And then I think for defense, like, I'm excited that it's fall break, so the girls won't be in their studies the whole time. I hope to be able to enjoy the beach a little bit. That'd be great. I need to work on my tan because, man, up here in Lynchburg, it's different than when I was living in Florida. So I feel like some vitamin D will be really good for me and the rest of the team.
Kamryn and Bacus obviously had 15-plus kills. Can you speak on their performance today and the impact of that on the team?
I mean, they're so steady. It doesn't matter. You know, they get rattled just like everybody else. They are not by any means so steel-minded and so strong-hearted that things don't bother them. I mean, when you have that many attempts, you're going to make errors. You're going to have blocks that go off your hand and miss some digs. But the biggest factor that I find in them is that they just don't quit. Like, there's no die in those two. They will continue to swing. They get blocked 5 times in a row. They keep swinging. Now, some of it, we need to work on that, but they've started with their wisdom of just the amount of swings they've taken, started to add in those tips and rolls in good situations. And my assistant coach, Briley, is awesome at helping with that. She was a stud outside hitter when she was in college, and so she just is feeding that stuff to them, and they're taking it in, and they're being a great example to everybody else on the team. So when you have pins that are leading by example like that, and they work hard every day, they're sweating early in practice, you can't ask for anything more as a coach. Like that, they could easily just be like, Coach, I know what I'm doing. Stay out of my business. But they don't do that. They allow us to speak into it, and they listen, and they're humble, and it's a really great connection, really great communication too.
Congrats on the win. Can you speak on how the team performed today?
All right, I feel like our team performed exceptionally today. That was a team win all the way around. Jacksonville State came out after losing yesterday in 4, just came out and kind of crushed it. Obviously, like, one of their girls had a really good night, but yeah, I think we just stuck to our scouting report really well and worked together, even though we had some up and down moments, and worked through it, stuck together, and got the dub. So.
After that second set, you guys struggled. What adjustments did you make?
Yeah, the second set it felt out of character for us. We were making plays that, like, just weren't us. It wasn't Liberty volleyball, and we knew that. And so coming into the third set, we just decided, like, we know who we are. We know what we came here to do, and we're an aggressive squad. And so that was the word that just kept coming to mind throughout that entire game, was just keep it on them, keep it on them. And whenever they'd hit a hard ball at us, we'd just go and try to hit it even harder back. And so obviously it was a dogfight, but it feels good to come out on top.
After that back and forth crazy fourth set, how do you overcome that and come and get the win there in the fifth set?
Yeah, the end of the fourth set was super neck and neck. So I feel like that just gave us some momentum going into the fifth set of, we're taking this. This is our home floor, and we're going to defend it. And I think we did a good job of doing that.
Your second straight game with 15-plus kills. Can you speak on what you've been seeing in the court?
Can you repeat the question?
Your second straight game with 15-plus kills. What are you seeing out there to be able to get those kills?
Our setters are honestly just putting us in good positions and getting good one-on-ones, and our middles are obviously dominant as well. And so it opens up opportunities for me and Kate and our other pin E to be able to score. And we're lucky we have an offensive setter, so it makes, like, the whole court is basically a threat. So, yeah, really it comes down to just teamwork, and we're getting the dig, we're getting the pass, and it's putting me in a good position to be able to execute.
You and Gamma both had 10-plus kills second game against this team. What is your connection with them?
Kate and I work together obviously every single day, and so it's so just honestly life-giving to be able to have somebody who's in the same position that I know is going to work every single day and is just grinding and loves the grind and that you can trust. It's like if I get blocked, she's there to cover and vice versa. And so, our connection's really good. And it's really just, life-giving to be able to look in her eyes and just see the joy and know that she has my back and I have hers.